Vicky, Retro Queen Bee Art. Let's be busy in art. Happy St. Patrick's Day. My husband is very Irish, O'Sullivan. I have a little bit of in me. Well, I'm gluing a tea bag down with a stick glue to an old page out of a book. It's 1900. I like this era of book page only because it's thicker during this era, and it's a pretty nice book page. Then I'm going to apply Liquitex clear gesso on top because I am going to make some teabag fodder. I hope you won't hear my dogs through this, but they're a little bit loud tonight, so you may, if you hear weird noises, that's from my dogs. So I made a 2.5 inch square. This will keep me within diameters of the being that I'm making. And it has a big nose, so it's going to be a Gnome. It's going to be a St. Patrick's Day Gnome that I am making to be fodder for my journal. I am wearing green today. The box will keep me within a good size, I think. Kind of helps me with my bearings when I draw. And I did just do the little bit of feet there. This Gnome is really easy to draw. The Gnome is very easy to draw. I just drew his feet and I'm drawing his beard in now. Anybody could draw this little Gnome. So I'm going to put his arms up, and his hands will be mittens. And I'm drawing a string that he's going to be holding between his thumbs. I am taking the black pen now and outlining where the pencil was. Now on his hat, I thought about putting a buckle, and so I kind of did it later, but this would probably be a good time to do a buckle on his hat, which I start out doing, but I didn't make it big enough. And then I color it in. I don't know what I'm thinking, but you could do a buckle on his hat. Just 2 squares. And I'm not sure if you can see, I think you can see me. You can zoom in close here, probably. But how you make a shamrock in my world is you do one heart on the left, and then do 1 heart on the right, and then you do 1 heart in the middle. And then put a little string on it, and that is your shamrock. fixing that beard a little bit. To be a little more cohesive with my Gnome. Making that string and putting little curly cues from the mittens. Trying to fix that buckle again on the hat. I don't know if I do a good job or not, but it'll do for my demonstration. You get the point, right? You could have a buckle or no buckle. And here in the hat, I'm just drawing 3 circles, well, 3 half circles, like a little circle, then you put a circle over that, kind of looks like rainbows. So there's 1, 2, 3 circles, and then I'm just filling the hat with these rainbow circles. And then here I am going to add another shamrock, making my heart on the right, my heart on the left, and heart in the middle. So it's hanging off his hat. And I ended up putting a couple extra things off his hat, but when I cut it out, I decided, nah, I'm just going to leave the hanging shamrock on his hat. I'm erasing all the pencil, erases very nicely, and I'm using these color pens by Suzuki. I think Suzuki, they're Japanese. They're the Jelly Roll Stardust Sakura, sorry. They are made in Japan. They're a gel ink pens. They're glittering. And I thought the Gnome would look sweet with a glimmer to him. I'm just going to be coloring the rainbow hat in and the shamrocks. All right, now I've decided I want to make a flower. I do a round circle. Now anybody can do this flower. All you do is a triangle. A triangle's around the center of the flower. Then you do triangles between the triangles of the flower. So it's just like a bunch of triangles put together to create a flower. And I'm just kind of circling around the flower to kind of get my eye into how and, well, where I should put more triangles to build the flower out. Make the flower larger, but I kind of want to, I'll stay in the realm of that circle that I drew, because it's kind of hard to, when you're drawing all these triangles, to see the flower. And with that border there, it says to me, oh wow, I'm not going to go any further. And so I'm liking my triangle flower. very easy. Anybody could make it. And now I am going over it with the ink. This particular pen that I'm using, black ink pen, is a Micron archival ink. This is a 08. Now I know they come in probably larger sizes, but this is the one I had handy, so I thought, oh, I'm just going to use this one. Thinking about the stem and what kind of flowers I should have. I mean, not flowers, leaves, excuse me. The leaves I should have, and I decided to make funky leaves, different sizes of the leaves, different direction of the leaves. And then I put a line in the middle, and I will add some dots to the leaves. But first I'm going to go over with my ink pen on top of the pencil. The pencil will erase very nicely. And I'm doing the dots. When I started to erase my leaves, then I noticed, oops, I don't think I outlined them, and I can tell here that I didn't outline them. I use a kind of a gummy eraser. It just, for me, it works better. See, I notice here I go, oops, my leaves are disappearing. I decided to add a few more triangles in little different spots to try to get the flower to hang a little bit with forward with the stem and the leaves. Now I'm thinking, what do I need to create fodder, more fodder? So I'm just doing some round circles here, 3 of them, be the top of some fodder, round circled fodder. Because I actually just like the tea bag and the few words inside the circle. It looks pretty cool. But I'm going to add some more circles and kind of keep coming down until I think I have enough. Just outlining the circle plant. So what the next step is to cut these out, fussy cut them. Oh, after I paint them, I forgot about painting. Oh yeah, I'm going to use the jelly roll to do the flower. I'm probably going to leave the leaves in the stem, but I do want to make the flower pop a little bit more with color. Doing dots in the center. So this triangle flower is so easy to do. Anybody can really draw it. So I continue to paint in my triangles. I'm going to leave a little ball of flower there. Then I decide, I have a second page. I made 2 pages. I've decided here to make another shamrock stem. So you just put your 2 hearts on the side and 1 heart in the center. And you can see that I had fussy cut my Gnome and the flower. And then I actually have 2 little, what would we call them? Round, a round fern, a round flower buds. Yeah, I made one earlier. Now, after I make the shamrock string or shamrock, oh gosh, what do I call that? Vine, maybe a shamrock vine, that's what I'll call it, a shamrock vine. I start to measure 3 squares because, and I think I might have made these maybe 2-inch squares, because I'm going to make some whimsical birds, but I need to keep their bodies in a certain area of space so that I'm not just drawing crazy. Every time I do a figure, I have to have some sort of boundary for me to draw in when I'm doing it like this. These birds are really easy. Getting my pencil. Here I'm making it kind of an egg shape. Here I'm making a square up on the top one. And I'm putting some feet on the bird. And then I'm just going to be a triangle for the beak. For the beak, a triangle for the beak. These are very loose, whimsical birds with a few designs. I'm not liking that round part, it's too big. I gotta get it fixed better within the square that I created. Same with these legs. So thinking, how am I going to do this? So I did this tail, but then it wasn't a good angle. So I did work on that a little bit. So the middle one here is almost like a half dome, maybe a dome shape. And then I added the wings on the other side. This particular one is going to be in kind of an egg shape, but then I'm going to make the sides straight because I think I can make it look a little better. Okay, and put a beak there, which is a triangle, and then just kind of these, whoops, no, this is the, yeah, I don't have it at the right angle. So I'm looking at it, no, I got to put it in a different angle. There we go. The feather and the tail is going to be a square. And then it has little feet. The dome, I guess what I'm doing here is I'm putting the wing in, which is just a little triangle, pretty much. I am fixing the eyes, making them doing the eyes for the bird. It's just a circle and a black mark. And then I decide to put a tummy on this bird. So it's time to get my black marker out here and just go over all the pencil lines. So this dome bird, I have the beak kind of going down, big eyes. I might put some eyelashes on her, outlining her wing in the back. Doing the feet of the square bird. Now I am going to erase all the pencil marking. It dries pretty quick, the black ink, so I don't have to wait a long time for it to dry. So I have a kind of a longer body bird, a dome bird, and a square bird. Very simple to make their wings, make their shapes, and making their eyes. Very simple. Erasing some more pencil mark that I saw. Now I decided on the square bird I'm going to put a 3 loops for the hair. On the bottom bird, I'm going to use a curly Q, and I'm going to put a crown where this middle bird is. See some more pencil mark, just trying to get it all out of there. Drinking some tea. Gotta have my tea when I'm doing my art. And then I decided to make a fancier eye for the square bird. Then I'm going to put stripes going through the square bird. And then I put stripes going the opposite way, and then where the little corners connect, I started doing kind of a diamond shape, but it was pretty hard, so I decided, well, I'm going to do a circle instead, because you can't even see the diamond shape, so that's what I did, where they connect. So whimsical birds, they're not in reality. I don't think a bird looks like this, but they're easy to draw. Decided to make this one with polka dots in her body, and then I'm just going to do lines for the last bird for his body. Now, here I was making lines, and then I was coloring, and then making kind of the lines going the opposite way, and then you color every other square. But my foundation is so small, and with the tea bag, it didn't quite work out, so I ended up doing the best I could, but that particular pattern, I don't see it. So I would suggest not to do that kind of pattern. If you make these birds, just make them very simple. Like this one, I'm just going to squiggle the line for the wing. Putting dots on his breast. For some reason, this bird looks like a he. And then I was trying to get fancy again here, like you make a loop, and then you put triangles in the loop, or you put circles in your loop. Little too much for me, and with the tea bag, so I did the best that I could, making it look like lines and loops and dots. I'm not sure why I wanted to color stuff Here I just do lines. I think the lines look pretty good. Don't need to do any other kind of fancy drawing. Lines are good. After fussy cut, collage by Fodder onto the pocket sleeve in my journal.